Hi everybody, welcome to the space. I'm Jessica Ivgi and we'll be practicing practical spirituality out of learning the Bible. So we've got Rabbi Ginsburg here and we've got Rabbi Yaakov Varshevsky. I've never said that in an English accent. Okay, so today we're talking Noach, and also forgive my English. I am not the best. I might be American and born and just a little bit raised, so I'm not the best in English. So bear with me, please. And there are some words I'm gonna probably work my brains around, but I'll make the points. Okay, so just be patient with me, please. Okay, so what we're doing here is actually parashat Noah, right? You say Noah, you don't say ch in America. So try to say hummus. You say hummus. So say Noah. Okay, so we're actually talking about four kinds of tragedies, of traumas that happen to us throughout life. So there are four kinds of it, and what we want to do is we want to be able to recognize it. Just a second. I needed some air. We wanna be able to recognize the kind of crisis I'm going through, so that I can also understand what's expected of me, so I can move on from it and how to deal with it. And it's very, very important. So let's go. First kind of crisis that could happen to us is being exiled from the Garden of Eden, Gerush Gan HaEden. Waking from like this dream, sometimes we thought we're in some kind of place that we really, really liked, and then we're like, whoa, I just realized I'm living a lie, or like I just realized that this I'm not, what's going on. You just like wake up from this beautiful thing. You thought you're in this amazing relationship, but you're realizing it's all a lie. So basically it says, so what happened is that Adam and Eve they ate from the tree and they were exiled. So that's what happens in the Bible, but also it talks about that the fact that we also go through these kind of stuff through our life, where we are thrown out of this like so-called heaven that we thought we're in, or we were really in heaven, but then just got out of it. Like if it's you're a child and then you grow and you're thrown into life. The thing is, what we're supposed to do, let me see if I wrote anything like practical about it that I could like maybe examples. So like really how we feel, the way we feel about this crisis, like our heart was whole and happy, and then it's just not anymore because it had to go through this something that it's going through, and it just wants peace. That's how we kind of realize we're thrown out of Eden. And so what we're supposed to do and what's expected of us is not to like reminisce and always think about and fantasize about like the past. The past is the past. Whatever it was, just from here, you're asked to work just at the present. That's why present is called the present. You give someone a present, but also we're given presents every second. We are in the present, and like acknowledging we're in the present, and this is all I have is now. Really, all I have is now. I cannot think of like how I used to be or how this relationship was, because it's not anymore. So stop and move on. And that's what we're expected to do, to just move on from what we thought was good, or was good, but just you can't be there. That's not the place to work. You're supposed to work here and now on whatever you need to do. Okay, and also I want to say that traumas that happen to us in life are really, it's hard. I'm not saying it's hard, but like if we're looking in a spiritual way but also practical, so it happens so we could actually work and deal with these subjects. So second kind of crisis that could happen to us is the plague. Is that how to say it? No, mabul. Oh my god, how do you say mabul? Like when all the I'm so embarrassed. Please write me how you say mabul. Flood. The flood. Yeah, I know. The flood. That has nothing to do with my English. That has to do with me being able to like pull out from my brain information. So the flood in the world, that's called the churban. How do you say churban? I should look that up. So how do you realize so really in the Bible, so Noah, what he had to do, it's how do you recognize the our own spiritual flood? It's just like when everything just breaks down at once, like someone's house burned, someone's relationship just like in 1 second he had to get divorced, or just not in 1 second, but getting divorced is really hard. Someone lost his family in the Holocaust, someone was exiled to anywhere. All these kind of stuff, they're like traumas because they're like big and strong, and it's really, really hard on our shoulders and hearts and brains and everything. It's just really, really hard. And what we could do, and the thing we're expected to do, with all the empathy in the world towards the how much hard it is, but really, really what we're supposed to do is just look ahead. Just look ahead and move, because that's really all we can do. Let's see if it says anything. En brera, like what can you do? The old world is gone and it's not here anymore. And now you only have the choice to build on it a new world, a new generation, a new you. You are like, whenever you go through crisis and traumas, when you are able to move out of it and move forward, that's the tikkun, that's the you're actually getting yourself back, and you're really doing what God wants from you when you're just able to move forward. So like, even though it hurts, that's a thing. Let's see if I want to say anything else. Yeah. Even though like all the memories and everything you lost, people in the Holocaust, they lost all of their families, and still when it was gone with, they remembered everything. I'm not saying ignore, but they remembered everything. They feel it every day, and still he just moved ahead. So that's what you can do, and that's what's expected. It's like I live in an Air Force here. So the third kind of crisis is Babylon. When everything is spread out. So what happened? They build this high building tower because they wanted to get to God. So what happened is that they all gathered up together and they were united because they remembered the flood, and it was right after that they remembered the flood. I'm saying right after, but it's like centuries. No, not centuries, but a lot of time. They knew about it, and they said, we don't wanna, we're too scared. They were scared basically, and they were afraid that there would be another flood, and they didn't want the world to fall again, so they were scared. And when you do anything because you're scared or out of being frightened, it's not gonna last. You should be working on yourself or building stuff in your life from a very good place. But if you're not, and you're doing it from being scared, so this is what's going to happen. It's going to break down in the end, because that's not strong enough. So they united out of being scared, and they said, we're going to build something together. But the base of that building was not strong, so they were punished and spread all over. So really, that curse of being spread is till this day. I mean, you see like the white wings and the right and the left wing, and you see like people hating each other, and you see groups of people, but really we're all one, but somehow we can't acknowledge it because we feel so separated one from another. And like spiritually, it happened because of that till this day. And spiritually, we could fix that. We might not fix the world, but fixing the world starts just from fixing one concept. Just pray for it. Even just pray for it. That's a little better of a world that you can do. And just to look at a person and say, he is not separated from me, not really. And being in two different bodies in this world makes us think that everything is separated, because in this world we need to be, we need a book, we need a body, we need it to be like everything needs to be acknowledged, but really spiritually it's all one. So if we are able to think mentally that I am not above or beneath anyone, and we're all at the same level, so maybe there might be a little bit of less hatred. And also, like, even within myself, if I feel like sometimes I'm like this and something like this, just believe that everything, that all the parts of me in the end is one. And just accept, like, if there's something I don't like about myself, I'm making myself being divided. So that's the word, really, the word division. So I want to make it a wholeness, like everything wants to be whole, because everything is whole, but in this world it's really hard to see it. So we were talking here, like the population is like, like the wings and everything, so that's like in the public, but what about the self? So sometimes so when you're spread, the self separation or spreadness, whatever, so so how could you see it? It's when you feel that there's not like a strong center, basically. You feel really not centered to yourself. And it's kind of a feeling that you have to like go around the whole world and like take your pieces back together. I really remember feeling like I had pieces all over the world, and I was like in my spirit going everywhere, just trying to feel better, going here and going there and like looking for myself. And that's what sometimes you see people, you see like they lost themselves, and they're like exiled, and they're like looking all over for themselves, and it's hard. It really is hard. So how you could fix that is just try to find that center in yourself. I was actually doing meditations just imagining that I have a center, because I did not have one. I know I did not have the center, and I was just imagining the center all the time and making it like from this fine line, just little fine line that I was imagining, that I was able to see. I was making it stay. It was really hard to make it stay. And throughout time, I was like, it was getting bigger and bigger and stronger till you have a self. And that's how you could feel on someone, if he has a self, if he's going through a crisis, when he's like all over the place. If you're all over the place, just try to get united back together with yourself, and then with people, and it has to start with yourself. Fourth kind of crisis is slavery. So 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 Israel was in Egypt. They were slaves to the Egyptians and to Pharaoh, and they were a whole nation within the control of another nation. They had no self anymore. They couldn't pray like they wanted. They couldn't live like they wanted. They couldn't move the way they wanted. They were slaves. And they were working this work and the slavery that was given to them. And does that feel, doesn't it feel like to a 9 to 5 job? And I'm not dissing 9 to 5 jobs, they could be great, but sometimes you just feel like, I'm in this place, I don't want to be here. I just don't want to be here. I don't want to be in this relationship. I don't want to be in this state of mind. I don't want to be living here. I don't want to be in Facebook all day, but there are some stuff that make us do something we don't want to do. If it, sometimes it's because I want to hold my family together and I can't leave this place. Sometimes it's because I need money. So I don't have the time of day to even stop and think what I want to do, really want to do with my life. So I'm like, it's like modern slavery, basically. When I listen to the news and they make me think all these kind of stuff. So I'm there all the time and I'm thinking and I'm giving the mentality of, not of myself, of if it's governments. I'm not going to that place. Okay, I'm not even, but yeah, we're giving information and we're thought to think those things. So even then, like the second they stopped working for just one day, I think it was I think he died, and they had a day off, or maybe there was something was going on there. They had a day off, and only when they had a break in life, just 1 second to think, they suddenly realized, whoa, we're not doing this anymore. We can't do this anymore. And they screamed. And the second they screamed was the second the Hashem, God, told Moses that he could now be a savior. And really, in these kind of state of minds, we are our own saviors. We have to stop once in a while, like they stopped. Sometimes we get the chance to stop from ourselves. Like some people just make stops throughout the day. Once in a while, take time to think, but sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes you're just in a loop all the time. And you have to put time aside to think of what you want to do and what you want to be and everything. But also sometimes it's forced upon us, these stops. Like there's something happens, we're thrown out of something, and we're made to think of what's going on. And I think that's like a real present. Sometimes we're going through something and we don't like it, but really it makes us stop and realize it, and we don't want to do what we were doing anymore. And that's a big blessing, to go through something like that. It could be a relationship, a job we don't like, just the fact that we don't have time for ourselves. Sometimes it's not always big things. Sometimes it's nothing. Hey, I would like time with that kid of mine sometime to sit. And if you don't have it, it's kind of slavery to do something you don't want to be. So if you are just realizing it, and in order to realize this kind of stuff, you got to get to a place in your life where you stop and think of what you want to do. You just have to be really aware. Sometimes I am my own limit. Like just the fact that I don't think I can make enough money, or I don't think I could get this kind of relationship I want. I don't think I deserve whatever. So a lot of times the slavery happens in our minds. Our mind is the biggest jail you will ever meet. And when you get to break one concept in your mind, it's salvation. It's, I have felt it. I want you to feel it so bad. Like you're in the state of mind, and then you just come to a realization that everything is so different from everything you thought till now. And it feels so great, because when that happens, your life could change, because you could take actions that you couldn't take before, because you didn't know you could move from this. There was this wall, like you didn't even know there's a wall. You just saw it till here. You didn't see more options, or you didn't see more worlds, or you didn't see more opportunities. But then when it happens, then you break it in your mind, and suddenly you see all these options. And sometimes you can't do it here, so you're gonna have to take actions, even if you don't believe it, even if it feels uncomfortable, and you're gonna have to do it. And when you do that, um, a lot of good stuff happens. It just does, and I wish it happens for you. I wish more happens for me. Even learning here with you, there was a time I couldn't think I could even process these kind of learnings in myself, but I just went for it and went for it and went for it, and my life changed. I don't like that example. I have way better examples, but I don't want to make this long. So if you like this, I would love you to comment. I would love you to register to the channel. I would love it if there was this one person, two people you really really love, you really care about, and you feel this information could be good for them. I know there's a lot of good information, but what I want to do is connect it to a really holy place in this world, and it's the Bible, and it's just godly. And I truly believe when we learn from a godly place, all our actions are gonna have a big blessing. So that's why I'm doing this channel. And please share people you love, because you're gonna gain so much out of this. Okay, so thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next week.